Hey guys, welcome to the podcast, Gen X and Gen Z podcast with AJ.
And Cece.
And today we're going to be talking about dating and generations, Gen X and Gen Z, and the difference, like our perspectives on dating now versus back then.
Right, because the Gen Zs want to know, why is it so hard to connect and to find the one in 2026? But versus in the 90s when it was a little more easier. So let's go ahead and jump straight into it.
Okay. So my question is, like, how have you noticed a difference in the way we date, or at least from how you saw me and my brother when it came to relationships versus you? Because I feel like we struggle because we have dating apps. Nobody actually meets in person other than, like, we have dating apps where we're texting and stuff like that. So
Which is very confusing to me because you guys have more ways to communicate, but yet you guys are not communicating properly. Versus back in the day, you met someone, just out and about. You met someone, you communicated. You had to actually get to know somebody back in the day. You would see them out. They would have to get your phone number. Okay, write it down or remember it. Give you a call. You have to be home to accept that call because back in the day we didn't have any type of cell phones, unless you go to a payphone or something like that, but you didn't have cell phones. And so when we actually received a call, okay, and they had to get past our parents, and once they got past our parents to speak with us, we talked, and we sometimes would talk. If the conversation was good, we'd talk up until the morning, until somebody fell asleep. And then if we wasn't able to talk that way, we would write a letter, so we was communicating. And when you think about it, it was such a hard way to communicate versus you guys when you have that phone with you 24/7. You guys are not communicating that much, and I do think that you guys play a little more games. Y'all play games when it comes to dating versus we didn't play games. You got the call and you answered, and if they called your house and you wasn't there, they would call again until they finally get you. And versus you guys would have the phone right there, see the text, ignore the text, tell them no, I have to wait 30 minutes to an hour, and then you send a message to the other person that you're not interested because they know for a fact that you have that phone right there in your hand. And so I think it's the games you guys play.
I definitely agree with that. I definitely, from my personal experience, I've had people like tell me that, oh, I have my phone in my hand. I wasn't texting you back just cause, and I'm just like, I don't understand that because it's like it sends a message that, oh, you're not interested in me. Well, that's what I think from that. And it's like, it's so many games you play. About time you done playing those games, it's like I don't even want to talk to you no more, and I'm back to square one of being single and not understanding like why is it so hard to date. But it's like, yeah, but it's like you said, communication. I think our generation struggles with communication because it's one of those type of things where we are in a generation where we have phones. We don't have to sit there and write notes or write messages or even use a payphone. We can actually just text. It takes like 30 seconds to text somebody back and be like, hey, yes, I'm available, or hey, I'm not available. It's like, be straightforward. I think that's what our generation struggle with. It's like, I don't want to come across as too desperate, but then at the same time, it's like, you like the person. So it's like, why not just show you like them? I think that's something that we do struggle with. So I do think that sets us back in dating, while a lot of people are single and we find it hard to connect because communication sucks in our generation. Yeah. And that's something we need to do better with as a whole.
Right. And I feel like the mobile phone and the cellular phone itself is taking the soul out of dating, because back in the day, like, again, when you write a note to your partner, you putting some soul in, some effort, okay? And it's like, do you like me, yes or no, okay? And then sometimes if you have, give a call, it's like, this person actually thought about me, called me, and then we took the time to get to know each other on the phone. It's a soul connection that's happening there versus you guys. You'll send a text and it'll be WYD. It's like, what? It's like, what is it? First of all, I got to figure out what this means. And then once you figure it out, it's like WYD. And then I get offended. I'll get offended if I got a WYD from somebody, okay? Because I'm so quick to block, baby, with the phone, honey. They should never gave me a cell phone. I'm so quick to block. And so
That's true.
And you guys are not just, you're not communicating at all. And it's very lazy communication. And then you don't know if the person that sending you the text message sent that WID to probably 10 other females, which they probably did.
Yeah,
You know?
and that's the problem with dating. It's the dating apps, like, and I definitely believe it's like you can't really, even with dating apps, I still feel like it's laziness involved. It's like you can't really get in depth with a conversation, and you would think, because it's like we're hiding behind our phones. What are we nervous about? It's like we're not actually in person talking to this person yet. So it's like, why can't we communicate? Why we only, the most you ever get is a sentence. Like, it's like, what are you doing? Chilling. WID. It's like, why can't you just spell like, what are you doing? And then also, it's like, also, why can't you be like, hey, like today I went to the store, I ran some errands, I came back from work. Like, give some in-depth information. Because
They
even when
don't
I
give
get
that
in
information
person,
because they're faking for the city. And then not only is it laziness in online dating, it's craziness in online dating.
that too.
So when you meet somebody online, you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what you're getting. And versus in person. Now they could be just as crazy in person, but the thing about it is that you can look them in the eyes and see, what's the intention, because the eyes are the seat of the soul, so you can tell a lot by looking at somebody's eyes and their intentions. And if they can just sit around and just be online, cruising online, you don't know if they laying in their mama basement or what
Yeah.
they could be laying, on their phone with their wife next to them. So
Right.
you just never know. I think
can't
that's
trust.
lazy and crazy when it
Yeah,
comes to
like you
online
can't
dating.
trust with online dating. And to be honest, it's like with online dating, when you get in person and you actually meet for the first time in person, the conversation isn't there. It's like they struggle to find, like, even from my experience, they struggle to find, like, I've had men just sit there and be awkward, where I'm just like, I'm gonna walk out in a minute. And I wish I really did, if I could go back and walk out, because we're not obligated to sit there and personally be in an awkward situation for no reason.
Well, I don't want you to activate that crazy, okay? Because these men crazy these days. So you activate that crazy, you get up and walk up out of there, and he probably took the time. Probably you never know what it took for him to get out of that basement, out of that bed, putting on some pants, whether they clean or not, and come and see you, and then you walk up out of there. That crazy has been activated.
Well, he should know how to communicate. I don't have to sit there and pretend like I'm enjoying myself when he could barely talk. And it's like, even sometimes it's like you try to strike up a conversation and you don't get a lot from it. It's like, oh, good. It's like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. Yeah, I'm like, this isn't going anywhere. So it ends like within 30 minutes, and I'm like, never again, never again.
And so the thing about it is, I think that you guys need to be more social. Go out there in the world and then do things that you like, and then meet like-minded people. And I feel like that'll be a way to connect. But then again, you guys say the men are not approaching.
Yeah, I think really, like, we really saw a lot of change when the pandemic hit. I felt like that really made people forget social skills, or get more nervous, get more awkward,
Right.
And I definitely feel like, even with me, it's like I'm actually a very shy person, and I do take time to open up, and I don't approach people first, but then at the same time, I'm not the pursuer. I'm supposed to be the one that's pursued. So when you go, like, as a woman, it's like, yeah, people could be like, well, as a woman, you could take that initiative, but it's like, I'm not willing to do that. I'm not putting myself out there first, because I truly believe that a man gets his woman. He is the first one to recognize his wife before the woman actually recognizes him.
Yeah, he should definitely pursue. You just need to play coy with the boy. You give, if there's somebody that you're interested in, then you just, you smile. You give different type of signs and things like that. You make yourself available and open. You give with your body language, okay? You just, you let it be, known that type of way. If he can't pick up those cues, then, girl, it's not the time.
It's not the one.
It's not the time or the one for you.
And that's something that I really realized. It's like, being, just going out and doing what I enjoy, and that's how I feel like, things should develop. Like, I don't feel like online dating is the way to go, and I feel like just being natural. I always say, if I want to date, I want to meet somebody in a natural way. I hate, like, anything else that feels ingenuine. I feel like when you try too hard, it doesn't really.
Yeah, you never want to do it and try too hard when it comes to something like that. Eventually, it'll happen, and if it don't, then if you love yourself and comfortable with yourself, then you'll be okay to be at peace with yourself, And I feel like eventually things will happen in its right time. You never want to rush, because you end up being, you don't want to be one of the girls that be in a desperate situation where they go out and meet somebody looking for love, and then you find love in all the wrong places, and then you end up with an old crazy baby. And so you don't want that. And so, yeah, and then, of course, you never chase. I don't care what nobody say in these day and age. You don't do the chasing. You let the man do his job, and come look for you, and he will. Eventually, he will. And it's not when you're looking for it; it's when you least expect it, where you may find it.
Heard. It's like everybody's on there in different time, and it's one of those type of things where it's like when it's meant to happen, it will happen, and stuff. So that's why I definitely feel like back in your generation, it's like y'all didn't have social medias to rely on. Y'all actually had to go out there, versus our generation rely too much on it, where it's like when you do meet somebody, it's like they're not even the same person that you talk to. It's a completely different person, or sometimes they don't even be looking the same.
Well, yeah, see. That's online.
Like they all use old pictures and stuff.
Lie about their height.
Yeah.
Women lie about their weight, but I don't think they ask for your weight online, do they?
They do.
They do?
No, just height.
Okay. Yeah, so, all the short kings online logged in, and nobody want a short king.
To be like, oh, I'm fine. Right. I'm like 6 foot, and then you get a person they 5'5". It's like something ain't adding up.
Sir, the height is not adding up, baby. Okay.
And it's like, the thing is, it's like, I'm the type of person where if you're honest, people will give you a chance. It's when you start to lie. Like, I always say, you can't start off a connection with a lie. It's not going to go far.
Definitely not. No. Oh, you start off in a lie, baby. You in a toxic relationship at the beginning, whether you know it or not. Now, to think about us back in the day, again, we went out and did a lot. We had all type of events. When we was teenagers, we had different type of special events during spring breaks. We had dances. We went skating, went to the movies, went to the mall. We went to friends' houses, house parties, all type of things, and concerts and things like that. You guys, I don't see you guys doing a lot like that. You guys don't go out and just really socialize. Just going out doing one or two things and coming home and then don't do nothing else for I don't know how long. That's not really socializing. You just have to have a social life. You have to go out there and do things and meet different people. Get out your circle, travel.
So the advice you would give to us is communicate better, number one.
Right.
Get out there more, because that's something that I'm not going to lie, I kind of struggle with getting out there. I go out there and I work and I do stuff that I need to do, like run errands. But after that, I'm just like, I come home. Like, I actually prefer being at home, but then at the same time, it's
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, at the same time, it's like you can't expect a date when you don't get out. You can't expect to meet people when you don't go out and talk, or get to know people or put yourself in those environments. Like, for example, like if you like going to concerts, you can meet a lot of people at concerts. That's something that I definitely meet a lot of people at concerts. And I'm doing something I enjoy, and that just naturally
Would you like to meet a guy at a K-pop concert?
Yes, I actually would, because since I like K-pop, but yeah, I think I would, because we'll have a lot in common.
So he over there doing the dances and everything like that, you'll be okay with that?
I'll be perfectly fine with that.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I would. I think I would. I genuinely would, because I really like K-pop, and I think that's something we could connect on.
If he had a blink over there going like this, you'll be okay.
I'll be like,
blinking with him. Okay, right. So, okay, that's good. That's good to know. Because I know you enjoy K-pop, and nothing wrong with that. I like K-pop too.
I definitely want somebody that I can connect with and have things in common, but also have differences where we can go. Like, I could go and do new stuff with them. Like, we can also teach something, because I feel like you have to have a balance. But the first thing, our generations, Gen Zs, if you're listening, we need to get out there more and socialize.
Right, and then get off those phones so much, and then when somebody call you, pick up the phone and answer. Because y'all get offended when people call y'all phone without texting first. And then y'all get highly upset when somebody leave a voicemail. And sometimes y'all don't even have your voicemail set up for a message to be left. It's like y'all don't want it.
I mean, that's true. I don't have nothing to argue with that. I definitely feel like that's something that we need to work on, because I still don't have my voicemail set up.
That is a shame. Okay, yeah, y'all got to get it together, because, you have so many ways to communicate, but you're not communicating at all, even with WID and stuff like that. It's like, come on, spell your words out. because we tired of having to look up what is this, what does
Right.
this
I
mean.
still have to look up someone that like they'll shorten it so much. I'm like, just spell it out.
It's
Like,
like y'all don't care.
it's like,
It's
come
like,
on.
yeah, I think the key is picking, cause, but it's still even kind of different. Even talking on the phone, on the cell phone, it's just like you still don't get that soul connection versus it when we had home phones back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
It was just something about that sitting around talking on the phone, and it's something about that connected us, versus a cell phone. Like I don't, when somebody called me on my cell phone, baby, it's quick and simple, quick and less business or quick and something like that. It's not like I'm about to sit there for hours and talk on this phone because the phone will get hot.
Yeah, phone.
And they say that you can't even have the phone up to your ear like that without getting some type of transmissions from the rays. So yeah, it ain't safe. So
Just talk in person.
it's hard out there.
It is. It is. But we gotta find the balance. We gotta actively do more.
Yeah. So when it comes to dating, is that something that you feel like that's on the top of your priority list, or it'll happen when it happens?
I feel like it will happen when it happens, but if I go back a few years ago, it was on the top of my list.
Mm-hmm.
But now, in my mindset right now, in my experience, I'm like, absolutely not. Like, I'm content with myself. I feel like there's so much that I want to do that I'm actively working towards,
Mm-hmm.
and dating is not one of them, especially seeing everything that's happening in our generation and stuff. That's not on my mind. It really isn't. I think now I'm really focused on myself and taking time to improve myself, and I really like that. I couldn't ask for anything better right now.
Mm.
So dating is not on my mind. What about you?
I think that's key. What you just said, to keep it, to focus on yourself, because like I said, it is kind of scary out there dating now. It's kind of crazy out there in this world, and because the men are going ham, and then which causes the women to kind of do the same thing, and so it's just like the back and forth, and then with the social media, and then with the podcast, and how the men are speaking versus and then the women are reacting. It's kind of toxic out there.
Very, very.
They say it's some pee in a dating pool, so it's just like, okay, well, you can't drink the water, so make sure, and so
just stay out of it.
Just stay out of it, right?
So what about you? Like, would you date in
No,
this day and age?
I'm not interested. I just like to just focus on my peace. Okay, been there, done that. Now, again, is it closed out? Am I going to have it closed out and never ever again? No, that's not the case. But it's just like I'm just focused on other things, other aspects of myself, because it's not what it's cracked up to be, if you ask me. It's just not that exciting anymore. Again, people are not getting that deep for real. And then, like I said, some of the men are crazy. And then on top of that, they don't want to pay no bills. They don't want to do this. They don't want to do nothing. They don't fix no cars. They don't build no houses. It's like, what do I need it for? Baby, my block list too long. So it's just like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I think right now that's a good mindset to be in. I'm not closed off to it, but I'm not looking for it at all. I think it's about me right now. But if somebody come around and it's like they're genuine, I mean, I'm not gonna be like no, but I'm also gonna be like kind of test them. Not test them like in a like.
No, you don't want to test nobody, but at the
not
same time,
test,
you just
but like kind of like
time. You need
time. I think that's the
to
right
know
way.
somebody
Time.
properly. Because like I said, crazy can't hold off for too long. You're gonna see it eventually. Then you see their intentions. I just feel like too many people have hidden motives, and it's just like, no, let's just be honest with each other, and people are not looking for love for real, and then if they are, they're looking at the wrong time at the wrong person.
Superficial stuff. It's a lot.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic we could go into, honestly, and also personal experience with dating. It's a lot. That's juicy stuff that we could get into, but yeah, it's one of those type of things where it's like, focus on yourself right now. Like, really, like, my advice to the Gen Z girls, or even guys, if you want to hear me out, just focus on yourself until, like, you're really at that level of maturity. I think our generation, still got a lot of maturing to do when it comes to relationships, dating. It's still a lot that we got to figure out ourselves, depending on your age and stuff. It's like we're always, learning and growing. So it's like, don't hinder yourself or settle for something that you're not meant to settle for.
Right. And I say my advice is if you're gonna date, have fun with it. Don't get too serious with it. Enjoy yourself. Have fun with each other. And when you get ready to get serious, make sure that your frontal lobe is fully developed at that time, baby, so you can see past the delusions and illusions of relationships. Let's keep it real with each other and keep it honest. So that's what I say. So if you're gonna do it, have fun with it. Don't get too serious with it, but make sure that you love yourself first, so that when you love yourself, you're not going to settle for no type of crap. You're not going to take any type of drama from anybody. But if you lack in that self-love, and you don't have the proper love and the proper guidance and things like that, and the proper knowledge what you want, if you don't have that frontal lobe, then you'll fall for anything. And then getting in the wrong relationship could be life and death. Okay, I'm telling you. So, and the wrong man can take the life out of you, and the wrong woman can suck life out of you. So you just have to make sure that you know everyone's motives and intentions, and make sure you guys on the same page. And that's not something that's going to be easy. So therefore, it's going to take time to do so. So that's my advice.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in to this episode.
If you like what we talked about, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button.
Yes, that's if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Spotify, then follow, because we're going to be doing all type of topics over here that I think that, you get a perspective from different generations, okay? And the way things were done back then versus how things are done now. And how can we bridge that gap and become back how things used to be, better communications, showing more love, community, and that type of thing. So again, catch us on the next one, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.